Heal the nation before healing the rest of the world. Political or geopolitical expediency or cultural chauvinism should not be allowed to undercut India's health interests. The center under the Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission and the Heal by India initiative is reportedly developing an exhaustive online repository of all categories of healthcare professionals in the country. WHO forecast for India. As per a study by WHO and the Public Health Foundation of India, over and above a veritable shortage of healthcare personnel and their skewed skill mix across a number of states, their current pace of growth is unlikely to result in any significant improvement in the density or skill mix of healthcare professionals by 2030. Soft power projection. In the mid-1990s, the General Agreement on Trade in Services (GATS) aimed to create an unprecedented scope for cross-border trade in medical and healthcare services. While the health equity implications of this neoliberal offshoot are well known and its central tenets have been widely criticized, healthcare, particularly in the post-COVID-19 era, has been a fertile ground for countries to project soft power, at times even at the expense of the nation's own health interests. A crucial distinction must always be drawn between exporting products such as vaccines and that of healthcare professionals. While the first is characterized by a much simpler transactional math, training healthcare manpower entails large subsidies, even a fraction of which is hardly recovered through remittances and skill transfers, thus entailing a net drain of resources from the native country. A similar draw on scarce national healthcare resources is laid through medical tourism, which is almost always to the detriment of health equity, particularly in developing settings such as India. The magnitude of these could be somewhat attenuated by the use of telemedicine and virtual platforms, though the larger concerns shall persist. While neither medical tourism nor out-migration can or need to be dispensed with in their entirety, to pursue them actively when the country is reeling under acute shortages in an aspirational decade for healthcare is least warranted. India needs a registry. It is also hard to justify an immediate need for this measure. While an online healthcare professionals repository will certainly aid foreign stakeholders in finding their right choices, there is neither a strong demand-side desperation nor a significant supply-side scarcity preventing a market to function well in its absence. For instance, a recruiter from a developed country willing to hire Indian nurses and remunerate them handsomely will not be hard-pressed to find suitable candidates regardless of the assistance rendered by an online repository, and the latter would only be marginally helpful. Rather, it is at the national and subnational levels that such an exhaustive and updated registry of healthcare professionals is the need of the hour, for addressing the many challenges and disparities in health manpower availability, distribution, and skill mix. This would also come to strongly complement measures such as an integrated public health cadre and the initiatives to train, deploy and retain more local manpower. In healthcare, which is characterized by perennially scarce resources and a surfeit of challenges, everything revolves around identifying the priorities right. And no amount of political or geopolitical expediency or cultural chauvinism should be allowed to undercut national health interests. It is time to go all out to address the national healthcare workforce challenges and heal the nation before embarking on a healing cruise of the world.